Hello guys, how you doing? Welcome back, and yep, today we're in luscious new 1.6 territory, 1.6.1 in fact, and I thought I'd pop over here and run a little test. Cows are still growing up into the walls, so this is not really working. The chickens, I've got 4 in here just because that's all I got out of 5 stacks of eggs. They haven't walked through the wall yet. No cows have come to attack them. Cows. The fearsome killer cows. No ocelots have come to attack them yet. So I don't know if they are still going to kill them through the walls. But I guess we can just leave these guys here. And there are 4 at the moment. Yep. And we'll see, just have to see whether there are 4 at some unspecified point in the future. But yes. We'll see, we'll get some steak out of this, at least. I don't know, a couple of pieces. I think there's 2 cows that are actually in the path of the lava, and 2 cows in a wall. But yeah, and then what we're going to do today is going to be a little bit of a planning episode today. We're going to be following up on an idea posted in by Midnight Designer, who is a fantastic subscriber of mine. Commented in the last video that our long road reminds him of medieval trade routes, and especially as it's going to the Sand Village, medieval trade routes going kind of Crusader type era, and I think that's a really good idea. To make the village into a trading centre. So we're going to plan out a few things today to do with that, and you never know, we might even build something. Certainly probably do a few experiments. Right, you can still walk through walls. Brilliant. You see that? He was already grown up then, they were already grown up, and he just walked through the wall. So, yeah, I really don't get what the point of cobble walls and I assume it's the same with fences. I did test that on the previous versions, but these are pointless except as decoration. If you can't keep animals in with them, why have them? But let's not be maudlin. Be positive and happy and all that, and I was really hoping these guys would die a fiery death by now, but yes, I guess what we'll do is we'll see you over at the village. And here we are. So yes, the desert village. So the idea from Midnight Designer is a trading village, trading town kind of deal, and I really like that idea. And I think we can go for a plan of several parts. Firstly, we could go for cosmetics. It's probably spelled incorrectly. Basically, I've never really been a massive fan of the desert villagers, simply because only 2 building types come close to what I imagine for a desert town type architecture. The small buildings work quite well, and the church type thing also kind of fits, but the rest of the buildings, because Mojang basically just ported the existing village template into the desert biome and replaced the blocks, they just don't fit in. Basically, it would have been nice for them to design a new village template with different types of buildings. It would have added a nice level of variety to have the desert villages be the buildings to be different shapes from normal villagers. So yeah, a cosmetic makeover. And I'm just going to clear my throat. So yeah, that's one phase, one part to the plan. Now, obviously, this is me, so I think we can make a functional villager trading setup. So we're going to need a few things. We're going to need a breeder to create lots of villagers, not only for trading with, but also to add life to the village, basically. Because I think these things are horrendously underpopulated. I think the calculation for creating calculating the number of villagers you can have in your village, which is 1 for every 3 doors. I really think it's very, very basically it's very strict. You need too many doors in order to make a populated looking village. I don't see any reason why it shouldn't be 1 villager per door, if not 2. Granted, on lower end systems, that would probably mean that villagers would cause issues in terms of lag, because of too many villagers being around. Let's create one of these. But my computer, though not an absolute beast, I think it can cope. So yeah, we're gonna go for a very populated, bustling little town. Also, the breeder is going to want to be used for producing villagers, checking out their trade, and disposing of them if their trade is not good, or releasing them into the village to boost the population. So we'll need disposal slash release mechanism, right? We're also going to need something that we'll call, let's see, a trading guild, maybe, or school or something. Yeah, we'll go for guild at the moment. So this will be a building whereby our newly bred villagers can be stored in a easily accessible manner, so we can go through, check their trades, find out if they've got good trades or bad trades, and pass them into the disposal slash release system as we see fit. And then we're going to want a bazaar. possibly spelt wrong, maybe spelt wrong, might have two Z's, I don't care. I don't know, I suck so badly at spelling, and a slight, hissing syllabants there, sorry. A slight level of dyslexia means that I struggle to see my spelling mistakes. But basically, villagers we want to keep, any perfect or near perfect villagers where we're happy to cycle through all of their trades over and over and over again, are going to be sent to a bazaar, basically like a marketplace area, so that we have a nice area that isn't like a bank of villagers, but actually like a real world thing, that we can go through and trade with the villagers in a nice setting. We are going to want to, on the breeder, we're going to want, actually, I'll put it on top. We're going to want to an automatic, let's see, cut off for the breeders, for the breeding system. So basically, I want to stop it breeding villagers when the trading guild is full and there is a buffer, so we don't have to kept within the breeder, so that we don't have to wait for it to make new excuse me, so we don't have to wait for it to breed new villagers. When we dispose of villagers, there'll be a buffer of adult villagers ready to be released straight into the trading hall. So that I can see working perhaps one of two ways. We could go for NonInfinite Breeder. So basically, unlike an infinite breeder, it would have basically be like an area with lots and lots of doors, and the villagers will breed until their number matches the calculation for doors versus villagers. Or we can have an infinite, yeah, infinite maybe, with a redstone cutoff of some type, a redstone disabler mechanism. Yeah, a redstone disabler mechanism. So for that, basically, we have an infinite breeder, which will automatically, so if you don't know, an infinite breeder, generally what you have is a seed villager who is surrounded by doors, and an area that has villagers in that is more than 6, I think, blocks away. So those villagers and the seed villager will try and breed, and the villagers in the separate area will try and breed with that villager, but will instead breed with each other. And so that the holding cell, as it were, will continue. They will continuously breed, as long as the seed villager is in the middle of those doors. So we can use some sort of mechanism to have like a detect when there's a certain number of villagers in the holding cell and remove the villager from those doors, or invalidate the doors by removing the block from above them. So that's probably what I'm going to do there, rather than a non-infinite breeder, simply because infinite breeders are a lot more compact because you only need 6 doors, whereas to have a decent number of villagers with a non-infinite breeder, you're going to need somewhere in the region of, I don't know, 20, 40, maybe even 50 doors, and then you end up with a problem with iron golems spawning. So yeah. Also, our breeder needs to be plus 65 blocks from the village in some direction or another, and that is so it doesn't interfere with the mechanics of the cosmetic village up top. It will still function as a village. I don't want any chance, and that 65 is probably too many blocks, to be honest. I could probably go with a lot less, but I don't want the villagers on the surface trying to breed with the villagers on the surface, or in the village, trying to breed with the villagers in the infinite breeder, whether that's underground or, you know, over there or in that mountain or something, somewhere within loaded distance at least. So yeah, we're also going to need transport, which will either be water canal or water elevator, or in fact maybe minecarts. So yes, I think what we'll do today is I'm going to cut the recording. I'm going to have a little bit of a think about a breeding system. Okay, so I've decided we're going to have our villager breeder over here in a big well. All you can see by the fact that even that jungle is loaded, all of the village will be, or town will be loaded when you're over here, which conversely means when you're anywhere in that town, the breeder will be loaded, which is important because if it was out the loaded chunks, it wouldn't work. And this strip of cobble over here is the 65 block mark from the breeder, so we can build out to around here, and we're not going to the village that constitutes the breeder will not join with the village that is the actual town in terms of game mechanics, which is good. We don't want them interfering. We certainly don't want a village where the centre is somewhere around here outside of the town, because it's just going to confuse the villagers' tracking. So if we pop down this stairway, we'll see how much of this I can get done. I've got some villagers down here. Got this guy here. And I got 3 more down here. And we've got this space here for doors. Now I did already put the doors in once and then had to take them out because the guys in the minecart started wanting to breed. So even this far with this guy this far away from the doors, it counted. I think what we'll do though is we'll put him in a little 1x1 cell over here, closer to the doors. And if he's in a 1x1, it should be impossible for anything to spawn and in there with him, because the game would see that the mob would spawn colliding with an entity. I don't believe they can spawn in the same square as a dude. So yeah, So that's the easy bit. That's just doors with the hole here providing daylight over the blocks outside the doors. So that's easy. Now we need to think up a design for the actual breeding bay. Now, since I recorded the last bit, 1.6.2 has been announced, and Jeb tweeted that he's fixed the problem with animals, and I assume this must count for villagers as well, walking through walls. Which, if this is true, is fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. And it means we can be a bit more sensible with our designs, because we don't have to. At the moment, there's a phase for keeping the villagers in water, like all flowing into a central point to keep them away from the edges of the walls of the breeding cell, to stop them phasing through. Now, if Jeb has fixed that, that is fantastic. However, I am thinking it's probably worth doing it that way anyway, simply because that way it will stop the it won't get broken in future, basically. So yeah, also it'll allow us to apply some kind of cut-off, because we'll be pushing the villagers away from an area, and when there's enough of the villagers, that it will overcome the water streams and kind of push them out, and we can use that as a kind of a measuring device on for the number of villagers we have in the breeding bay. So yeah, I'm gonna lay some stuff out and see what I can come up with. Okay, so this is what I've come up with. I changed my mind about a redstone driven cutoff. What we've got here is water into the middle, and then what we have is over this side here, basically as the more and more villagers build up, they're going to get pushed closer to the edges and closer to the edges, and on this side they can actually make their way over here, and then they'll come and get stuck up here and drown, and that'll keep the population in check. Now at the moment this is quite harsh, quite extreme, the current here. It may have to be modified, so that, I mean, it could just be, for example, like that. So if the villager gets to this point here, then they're going to quite easily come along the way, or maybe, you know, that it can be here and here. That's a funny bug. Makes a block placing sound if you place a bucket of water down in water. So that can be adjusted if it's not killing them, but I'm going to go make it as difficult for them to get in there as possible. Well, not as possible, but within the realms of this design for the moment, simply so that I don't accidentally kill them all. Now, on this side, what we have, it is the only place where they're going to be pushed against a wall. So as the villagers build up, hopefully before they start going into the killing chamber over there, we'll start getting a few coming over here and into this area here. And here they're going to wait for, pressed into that corner for pick up by cart. And yeah, you've got all my carts, damn guys. Because that is how I think I'm going to do it, because I'm going to be calling them, you know, from the village, from the town, when I want a new villager. I don't want really to run redstone all the way over here to release them or anything, so they're going to, the easiest way is to send a cart over and have it just pick one up. So yeah, that is the idea there. So what I need to do is basically build these walls up so that they can't escape, like this, and I'll just do that quickly. Okay, so that's done. So what we need to do, well, let's release these guys first. If I can get you guys out, there we go, there we go, and there we go. Got all 3 of those carts back. Oh, I'm very low on ender pearls. I haven't brought many over. Cool. Right, so those guys are happily taking a dip. Nope. What would be a good idea is to grab our doors. Now I've got 8 of them, even though you only need 6, and that's because I dug a 4x4 hole before I realised what I'd done. So yeah, right. Let's get it out here. Can I? I can. Cool. And there, and the other side. Brilliant. So now we can do this, and let's figure out what side you want to be on before I actually fill it in, because no doubt you'll get stuck in a corner if I don't do it that way. Wow. Okay, that side, eh? Fantastic. I'll put that there. So you should be totally safe. And these guys should want to start making the hearts. Let's get it on. Come on, make some hearts. Do it. Yeah. Anyway, so that's kind of all we got time really for today. It's currently night time, so I'm not actually sure these guys will breed while it's night time. But I think they can breed in water. I'm sure what I've built here is actually quite similar to a design by Tango Tech, who is a guy I've started watching recently. He's got a quite nice channel. You may have known him for his Iron Trench Golem Farm, which is a work of craziness. But yeah, I'm sure his works in a similar manner with yeah, I'll have to go look that up actually. But there we go. Let's get it on. Beautiful. So we should be absolutely swimming in villagers soon enough. Still lots to do, lots and lots. It's quite a big project, I think. But yes. Until next time, guys. Take care of yourselves.